How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and today's video is a bit different to what I normally post on this channel. As many of you already know, a lot of DLC stuff got leaked about a week ago. A lot of the characters were revealed as well as a lot of their dialogue. However, nobody had posted all of the intro dialogue for each character as of yet. At this point, all of that dialogue is readily available. However, I wanted to take you on a journey that I went through for one of the specific characters, Nightwolf, because this character's intro dialogue was very fascinating and also made me extra curious. Because even though in past games we've always played as the same Nightwolf, apparently Nightwolf is actually a codename and anybody can inherit this mantle from the Blessed Spirit herself. And as I read through more and more intro dialogue, it seemed like this Nightwolf was going to be one we hadn't played before, which had me very excited and also a bit worried because I really do like Nightwolf. He's one of my favorite characters. So even though I do love seeing characters who take up the mantle of former heroes, because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and the whole Spider-Verse thing, there's hundreds of different Spider-Men and I love all of them. So the idea of seeing a new Nightwolf got me pretty hype, but I'm also a big fan of the original as well, so I was quite torn. Now you might be wondering, Underdog, why are you freaking out? Why do you think it's a new Nightwolf? Well, let me walk you through the intro dialogue that had me thinking it might be a new Nightwolf this time around, and not only that, but also a different gender, meaning we might have our first female Nightwolf in Mortal Kombat 11. However, do be warned, this journey has more twists and turns than you might think, so without any further ado, let's begin. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the dialogue up on screen as I read it verbatim. So this first intro dialogue right here is what started this amazing journey for me. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. Any worthy Matoka can become a Nightwolf. I like how your great spirit thinks. So right there, we have Cassie Cage referencing to how Nightwolf could be a woman. And this had me thinking, is she speaking to a woman? Because otherwise, why is she bringing that up? This got me very curious and I just had to keep digging deeper and deeper into these intro dialogues. So next up we have Devorah. The Chitin once fought your predecessor. Until today, I thought those stories were just myths. Her death was all too real. So we hear Devorah say her death. Now she could be referring to a Chitin or Nightwolf's predecessor, either one, but I do find it fascinating how we're seeing more and more female characters being brought up here. Next up we have a dialogue between Jackie Briggs and Nightwolf. There have been other Nightwolves? I am the latest in a long line. Mind blown. So up until this point, I did not know there were multiple Nightwolves until I read this dialogue. So that's pretty fascinating, much like the Phantom. That's a comic book character a lot of people aren't aware of, but he inherits the code name as well. He's a long line of like superheroes, one of the earliest superheroes actually, even before Superman, and they all inherit the name of Phantom. And this makes the enemy think that Phantom is immortal, when in reality it's just different people picking up the mantle. And it seems like Nightwolf is similar to that, although we're going to find out in a little bit how they end up getting that mantle, because it's not simply passed down. This next dialogue is between Kotal, Kahn, and Nightwolf. Centuries ago we met. You met a Nightwolf, but not me. Explain yourself, Earthrealmer. Alright, so once again we get reference to Nightwolf being a title, and not just one person who lives for a very long time. And that's a bit confusing for Kotal Kahn, because he thinks like him, characters just live for a very long time, but Earthrealmers, we die kinda quickly, we don't live for centuries. Unlike Erron Black, who is actually immortal, and I included some of these extra dialogues with him just because they're extra funny. Sure glad I packed silver bullets. I'm Nightwolf, not a werewolf. Good. Silver's expensive. So unfortunately, this seems to deconfirm some of the ideas we had of Nightwolf transforming into an animal, just like Kotal Kahn, though I guess he still could. You know, it's not entirely debunked, which is nice because I want to see that actually happen in the game. That would be fantastic. But I do find it funny how Erron Black thinks that Nightwolf means werewolf. Really cool stuff, and who knows, perhaps Erron Black has actually fought some. The guy's been alive for a very, very long time, and I'm sure he's traveled all over the world and in between realms. And as mentioned earlier, I also have this extra dialogue from Erron Black because I find it very funny. How about that? Cowboys and Indians. Do not expect history to repeat. Why should I expect anything else? So this dialogue is just awesome. It's loaded with so many goodies. So for one thing, Erron Black is immortal, so he likely has seen history repeat time and time again. And they're both referencing, of course, how America started, right? You had the Native Americans and the settlers, and then here we are today. So we have both characters referencing that and showing off their personality. Fantastic stuff. I love the back and forth here between Erron Black and Nightwolf. Really cool stuff. And next up, we have a dialogue between Liu Kang and Nightwolf. So what were you before becoming Nightwolf? A broken man with a death wish. You owe much to your great spirit. So this seems to sadly deconfirm the idea that I had of Nightwolf being a female character. though once again, I'm okay with either or. If it had been a new character, that's fine, but I'm kind of happy that it's my old favorite Nightwolf from all the past games. However, please let me know down in the comments if you'd prefer a new Nightwolf or the traditional Nightwolf, because the idea of a female Nightwolf actually did get me pretty hype, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I just love war paint on female characters, and I wanted to see that in Mortal Kombat 11, but once again, I'm okay with either or. However, what's also interesting about this dialogue is we see Liu Kang talking about the Great Spirit. And as we're going to find out later on, this character is actually the one who passes on the mantle of Nightwolf. And at this point in my research, I was thinking, you know, maybe it's the same Nightwolf, but maybe you can actually switch back and forth. There's a female Nightwolf and a male Nightwolf, or the apprentice and the regular. That would be pretty darn cool. But as we go further and further, let's see what the other intro dialogues say about that. Because next up we have Devorah and Nightwolf again. Your revenant wishes to meet. A pleasure I don't need to have. You have no choice, Nightwolf. So I found this dialogue extra interesting because even though it does seem to apply that it's a living Nightwolf and a revenant Nightwolf, it didn't necessarily mean they're the same person. It could be two different Nightwolves with the same mantle. However, it does make a lot more sense for it to be the same Nightwolf. One's in the past, one's in the future where he's dead. That makes a lot more sense because once again, Mortal Kombat 11 does have time travel. So just one more dialogue that seems to debunk the idea of a new Nightwolf in Mortal Kombat 11. And the next dialogue between Jackie Briggs and Nightwolf seems to confirm that even more so. So Scorpion beat you at the tournament. To stay on his path, he needed to win. Hold up, you're saying you let him win? So funny stuff there because I always did think Nightwolf was very OP. We see him go toe to toe with Sindel, so Scorpion beating him does make sense from a fan perspective since Scorpion is very popular, but I find it funny that Nightwolf is saying nah, I let him win because that's what history needed to happen. Pretty fascinating stuff, and so is this next dialogue between Jax and Nightwolf. You know we both become revenants, except you get saved and I end up cursed. Was in the right place at the right time. I find this one great because poor Jax becoming a Revenant I always felt sad about, but at least he got saved. Nightwolf is still a Revenant, and not only that, but the writers forgot about him. He's not even in Mortal Kombat 11. So that's just more sad stuff, right? At least Jax gets to be in all the games. Nightwolf just gets skipped over more than once. And then to end this video, we have two more intro dialogues. The first one with Katana, and the final one with Kotal Kahn. You killed my mother? And now you want revenge? Not revenge, counsel. Pretty funny stuff there, so Katana wants to know how to kill Sindel, possibly if she comes back, because she's very, very powerful. However, a lot of people do seem to forget that the reason she was so OP in MK9 is because she had Shang Tsung's soul inside of her body as well. So basically a power-up that made her a lot stronger than she normally would be, which explains why when she's a Revenant she's not nearly as strong, as I imagine she was separated from all the souls she had been given by Shao Kahn. And as mentioned earlier, we have the final dialogue between Kotal Kahn and Nightwolf. So you are the one who defeated Sindel? Yes, you did all realms a service. So once again, we get more confirmation that Nightwolf does appear to be the same character we know and love from all the past games. Which I feel like is a good choice, all things considered, because even though a new character would have been awesome, I feel a lot of people would have missed their fan favorite version of Nightwolf. And it's also really cool to know that Nightwolf is a mantle that's been passed down through the generations, and not only that, but a Great Spirit is the one who actually does pass on this mantle. So even though we're not getting a new Nightwolf in Mortal Kombat 11, we have learned a lot more about his lore thanks to these intro dialogues. Once again, please let me know down in the comments if you wanted a new Nightwolf or the old fan favorite Nightwolf. Because honestly, once again, I'm okay with either or. I think a new design for Nightwolf could have been really cool, especially if it was a woman, but I'm also happy to see the fan favorite Nightwolf that I know and love make a comeback. And not only that, but I'm also happy to see him interact with new characters as well, who he apparently has a history with. So characters like Kotal Kahn and Devorah, who we haven't seen show up in past games, apparently Nightwolf has a history with them as well. And not just him, but his ancestors in Kotal Kahn's case. So that's really cool because you have an iconic character from the original trilogy who still shares a history with new characters like Devorah and Kotal Kahn. Really, really cool stuff. And since I'm currently working on this video, I've heard myself do the voices and it sounded pretty cringe to me, so please let me know in the comments if it was cringy for you too, because if so, I'll just read them straight without trying to do any voice acting. I wasn't trying that hard to change my voice, but I also didn't want to be monotone the whole time, but I do worry it turned out pretty cringe, so let me know in the comments if you like the voice acting or if you want me to just talk like I normally speak. Alright everyone, that's about it for the video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a lot, and while you're you're down there, why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell? That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.